It's all right. It's all right. Is it better than the first movie? No, but it's still pretty good. All right, review over for a lot of you. For the rest of you, let's dig into it. I've only heard good things about this movie. I haven't heard anything bad about it. I also heard that it kind of hits the feels just like the first one did too. But when you see it, I have to say there's two things that kind of went through my mind. One is nostalgia for the first movie. They do bring you right back in there, and I didn't realize how much I kind of was excited about that. There's something about the personification of a person's feelings and emotions, especially when they're growing up. You resonate with that because you've been through that, just not visualized in that way. So that's nice. And it continues to be nice here too. And the other thing that I think about when I was watching this movie is there's something about it that doesn't punch as strongly here as it did with the first movie. I had a long talk with my wife about it. Hear me out without spoilers. The stakes here aren't as high in this movie compared to the first one. If you remember the first one, they moved from I think Minnesota to San Diego or San Francisco. You know, a big transition for a young kid. A lot of emotions there, right? In this movie, she's going through something. She's going through puberty. I'll just leave it at that. And she's going through a series of events along with puberty. The problem is these events that she goes through, even though are big, they're not as big as the first movie. And I think for any adult who's already been through puberty and has been through those teenage years, you know, of anxiety and embarrassment and all that other fun stuff, it can feel kind of small because you've been there and you understand that these things are ultimately trivial and just part of growing up. So the whole movie feels that way, even though it's still a fun movie. It's still a pretty movie. All the characters are fun here. The new characters are interesting, though still not as interesting as the original emotions. Still fun. Only one of the new emotions I felt had a serious gravity to them. I won't ruin who. The rest of the new emotions, they're fun, but still kind of felt a little tacked on. But overall, I still enjoyed this movie. I do love the execution of it. There is a certain charisma in both of the movies that they do carry on through. Even though I did hear some of the voice actors in this movie are different from the first one. I believe Envy and Fear are actually played by different people. But it's still there. The charisma's still there. The fun's still there. There's a certain nostalgia that's still there. And most importantly, you do resonate with this growing kid and what she's going through. And that's really cool. So is it worth it? Yeah, you should see it for sure. We saw it in the theater. It was nice. My kids were a little bored from it, especially near the end. So if you're bringing your kids to see it, there's that. It's not as engaging as like a Mario movie or even like the Willy Wonka movie. That's my assumption for it. But it's still fun. So check it out. Let me know what you think, and happy Sunday.